Podcast is a platform featuring Kay Johnson, the Vibe Master. She creates a space for current and future generations to combine thoughts and lights in areas of education, economics, excellence, and all vibes of self-care. On this podcast, you can expect cursing, laughing, crying, and praying, with a mixture of compelling practices about the art of learning, expressing, transforming, and leading yourself. We will be featuring authors, politicians, pastors, educators, industry leaders, executives, world changers, action takers, and vision casters. Calmly tune in, remain turned on, stay tapped in, and to learn more about Vision and Vibes, visit inspiredbosses.com.
What's up, y'all? What's up? I'm super excited for today, okay? I'm real excited about this episode. So, yeah, we're excited that you have found us in the world making all types of noise. We glad you found Vision and Vibes, because let me tell you, we're going to give you some vision, and you definitely going to feel the vibes, all right? Period. So, don't forget, this podcast exists so that we can better understand economics, creativity, purpose, and self-care more clearly. Primarily taught by me, the Vibe, Kay Johnson. We have decided to share strategies and practices of self-improvement and self-care globally. We talk about all things: economy, purpose, excellence, self-care, creativity, business, leadership, career, health, and wellness for those who seek to understand their purpose and improve their lives. That's what this is all about, okay? So anytime anybody be on this platform, let me tell you, they seeking to improve their own life as well as those around them. Don't forget, we air every Sunday at 12 a.m. on Spotify, YouTube, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, wherever you be listening to. That's where we reside. Okay, so go check us out at visionandvibes.com, inspiredbosses.com. Get there now. So let me switch a little bit. Let me shift gears a little bit. Let me introduce who's going to be sitting in the guest seat today. A dear friend of mine from college, and I can't wait till he get on here so we can talk about that. That's the first thing we're going to talk about when we get on here. But today's discussion is with my college classmate, DudeThatDraw. Okay, I knew him as J-Rock, Jarvis, but he go by DudeThatDraw now. So DudeThatDraw brings awareness by being an artivist. Yeah, I said an artivist. DudeThatDraw is a full-time artist and helps his community by hosting and inviting the youth to shed light on their talents while showcasing his successes with the community that he invites. His message to the youth is: you can be anything you want, regardless of your situations, your struggles, and the cities, zip codes you was raised in, all right? So you can find him everywhere at J-Rock Jarvis, on social media, DudeThatDraw, LLC. Tap in with his link tree and get to know him. And let me just add him. What's up?
My girl, what's up with it?
What's good?
Man, I'm excited.
I don't know the last time we talked for real, but as soon as I saw you on LinkedIn, I was like just browsing, and I seen something you shared. I was like, I need to have him on the podcast. This could be the next time we catch up. So let's catch up. First of all, before we catch up, let's tell them how we met. Let's just tell them how we met at the University of Memphis. I want you to share. Go ahead.
I'm gonna be honest. So when I first met you, I'm not gonna lie. I had found you attractive, right? And I was like, man, I'm gonna try to talk to her. But when I had a conversation with you, that whole mindset of trying to get to know you, it went out the door. And I was like, man, instead of me trying to get to know this girl can be like a sister, like a person that can speak wisdom and knowledge into me. And the conversation you was having, it was like you wasn't going for the sneaky link and such and such, such and such. So I was like, hey, she on a different type of ball game. So that right there let me know, like, man, every time I seen you, we had to have hours of conversation. It was just different than a typical woman that's walking the campus. You had it. You still got it. your voice and the way you was book smart and just intellectual, just serious about what you want to do, man, the stuff I was approaching you with, man, could compare with what you had going on. So I was like, man. So from that point on, I looked at you like a sister for sure.
Man, y'all, when I say we used to talk, bro, I remember we used to be, so we went to the University of Memphis together, y'all, okay? And I remember us being in front of the University Center, we called the UC. We used to be in front of the UC, sitting on the bench or at the, like, park top vibes, like, just sitting out there talking for hours. Like, we ain't got nothing to do. Like, all we had to do was talk. And, you know, in college, it's so free. You know, you go to class, you get out at a certain time, you through, you know? And it was fun. We used to talk about everything from life to the things that we was doing right then and there to the things that we wanted to do. And I just want to say to you, it's a blessing to see you doing what you said.
Thank you.
Like, it's a blessing to me. It's inspiration to me. Like, it's encouragement to me. We all need to be encouraged. We all have the moments where it's like, okay, am I really supposed to be doing this? Like, was I crazy? Am I crazy right now? So I just want to say you're a blessing to me. So when I saw you on LinkedIn, I had to have you as a guest on the podcast.
Yes, that boy doing his thing.
Doing his thing. I mean, like, y'all, I was seeing him. Go check him out on LinkedIn. That's where the money is anyway. But go check him out on LinkedIn. Go check him out on Instagram. Check him out wherever you can find him. Because it's like his art. I remember you talking about coloring books. Like, I remember conversations that we had, like, coloring books. And it's like, bruh, let me take my glasses off. Bruh, you doing it.
my God. That's the only thing I can say is my God. How? I sit up every day and just look at the things I earned, the relationships I gained, the job opportunities. Now I'm contracted with Amazon, and I just look back to college, and I was like, all these things I never wanted to do. I always had people around me like, man, you're gonna do this, and that inspired me to be who I am today. Sometimes I sit in my house and just look at all the stuff I got and just be like, how God, how? But the whole time, man, that man had a vision planned out for DudeThatDraw, and it was a blessing. Cause for me to I transferred to University of Memphis, so I transferred from the HBCU. I went to Lemoyne 2013 to 2015, and I ended up transferring to U of M, where I eventually met you at. So when I transferred from a HBCU, a lot of people told me I was a traitor. When you transfer to a PWI, it's gonna be harder. You can't raise your hand. So I was like, you know what? I'm still gonna take that chance. At the end of the day, every decision I made in college, it was strictly for me. Um, my mom, with all due respect, everybody in my family didn't know how to fill out financial aid, know about college experiences and stuff like this. So I was the first gen student. So every decision I made was my decision. When I transferred to Memphis in 2015, it was hard. But I think I was nervous because I never experienced seeing thousands of students every day and the different. It was 2 years. I just the I let negativity get to me. I was scared to promote my business. I always heard what people may say, what people may think of me. 2017, everything changed. I sat down one summer before we came back to school. 2017, came back to school that year, hit the ground running, promoted my art every day. The first week of school, every day until they got tired of seeing me. Football team, basketball team, baseball team, everybody had to know who I was before I left school. But like I know, Kate, when we go to a PWI, being the color we is, they always say that we gonna be another number. So I was like, okay, if I'm gonna be another number, I'm gonna make them feel me. I'm gonna make them remember me though. So hit the ground running. 2017 February came, Mahogany Awards. When they said I won Artist of the Year, and I stand up to go receive my award, and I seen people standing up that I didn't know, clapping for me. They let me know right there, it's time.
Hey!
Rich Homie Quan came to the school, did some a portrait for him. He loved it. Megan Good, K. Michelle, Gabrielle Union, um, all these people, David Banner, and letting you know, just by me doing little portraits for those people, even though they didn't pay for it, but also it made my social media look good. I got an autograph. a video shout out, but all these things so people can take Dude That Draw serious as a professional and as a businessman. And next thing you know, I started an art organization on campus, artistry on campus. Me and Jonathan. Um, we just want to shed light on black artists on campus because I feel like it was hard for us to get our art in the museum in the back of U of M. So I was like, what if we bring our art to the UC where everybody at, all the black people at? So, and we did it. It didn't last long, but hey, we can say that we actually did it. And that's how I ended up meeting Dr. Rudd. He seen me paint at the U of M graduation one day. And he shared it on Twitter, like, hey, young man, I would like to buy that paint. He DM'd me. And he was like, I want to buy it for $300. From that point on, we was locked in. His wife met me, and like, you got to think about it. I'm seeing these people walk campus with their friends, like big time people, and they come to me out of nowhere. Hey, my favorite artist, and they let me know right there, campus yours. So from that point on, I just kept growing, growing, growing. Went from coloring books. I'm talking about I was selling coloring books like dope on campus. Hey, yeah, think about it, Kay. I was going crazy. I did landscaping on campus, which I already had some money coming in with the art. Got the post office on campus. The people that make my coloring books on campus, man, I had the whole 9 yards. I'm talking about I was booming. And that point on let me know, like, you know what? I would never call home and ask for another penny. To this day, I never called home and asked for no more money. And I said, you know what? I feel good. It's time for me to move out and all that. You know, I ended up getting my first house, my first duplex by U of M, and everything just been skyrocket from that point on, just by being on campus and putting it in their face. Everybody can't say no, okay? Too many people on campus to say no.
Yeah, for sure. Man, like you touched on so many things already. And one of the things that I wanted to point out, y'all, he talked about it, the Gabrielle Union, the Megan Good, Rich Homie Quan. I remember seeing him and he told me, he was like, nah, this is my way to get to them. Like he used his art as an avenue. And so right now I just want to take a moment and a break to show y'all some of his art.
Master 7. EA on the track.
Let me tell y'all, let me say this. Art is so timeless. And for everyone who is a creative, this is a testament to what you can do. This is a testament to what you can be. If you can see it, you can become it. If you
Oh
can
yeah.
see it, you gotta do it for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah.
And when we are creative, sometimes we get down on ourselves, and sometimes things try to come and attack our creativity. But
Yeah.
y'all, I'm talking about he do something. I'm a creative, but I'm not that type of creative. Okay. He's a creative in a whole nother way. And I love to shed light on people who are creative, who think abstract. Did y'all see him freehanding that? Like, it would look a mess if I did it. I'm just saying. I mean, I could probably do it with a lot of teaching and a lot of instruction, but it doesn't come naturally to me like that. You know what I'm saying? So let me ask you a question. Let me just get into like one question, okay? And y'all, if y'all want to know more about his story, it's gonna be in the description below. So fear not, if you want to know more about him, the description is below. So you use the word artivist.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure you get, when you say that to people, they want to know what does it mean. But I want to specifically ask, what is artivist? Two-part question. So, keep in mind, two-part question. What is an artivist? And how is it received by political figures? Whether that be local, state, county. So two-part question. What is it and how is it received by political figures?
Yeah. So when I say artivist, it's basically just using your art in political forms to it's another way of voicing your opinion. It's just with art. So how it all started really in 2015 when I was at Lemoyne. I had this guy. He was with the Fight for 15 campaign, and he had this table, and he was letting us know like, hey, we going to Ferguson, a protest trying to raise minimum wage from $7.50 to $15 an hour. I was the only one seemed like I was interested in, because when I heard you trying to raise minimum wage, I thought about my mother, who had three of us at the time when I was young, working in fast food, just trying to put food on the table for us. So I was like, you know what? Even though if I can't get my mama that house she want right now, I think me protesting and trying to help raise minimum wage, that'll be my way of supporting her, or giving back to her in a sense. So I end up going to Ferguson, and we was at this McDonald's. And when we got off the bus, I never seen this many people, black and white, holding hands, stopping traffic. And keep in mind as well, that was a year after Mike Brown has been killed. And so we went protesting at the McDonald's. I feel like we made a huge impact. The city felt us, and we ended up leaving the McDonald's, and we just started walking. And we got into this neighborhood. Everybody was standing outside clapping. And somebody was like, where we at? And my friend said, hey, bro, we in Mike Brown hood. And I was like, you lying. And so as we walked, we started getting closer to the apartment that he was killed. And it just felt so surreal. It felt like I was there that day, because I never had this feeling, never experienced police brutality in my life. And I'm from Mississippi. But as I got closer, I'm talking about 8-foot long pile of teddy bear, 5 foot high. I never seen that. And it's like, they ask anybody, do they want to say something? I raised my hand. I was trying to say something, but words couldn't even come out my mouth. That's how unreal it felt. It felt like I was there. And then on the bus ride back to Memphis, they just would educate me on police brutality, Black Lives Matter. And that point on, I just knew that I was supposed to be a part of that fight. So from that point on, any racial issue on campus, anything, I had to fight. And then I put my art with it. And the rest was history. It's controversial. I love being controversial. That's the part two of your question. How the world perceive it. I don't care how they perceive it. That's how I feel. Man, we don't stand up for our people. All I can say is who will. Like, that's why I tell my parents every day. My mom be like, why are you out there protesting? My family like, why are you out there? I was like, okay, now I know. If something happens to me, I know who gonna stand up for me. Because they complain about me standing up for somebody else, that who could have been me.
That's big.
Yeah, so it kind of make you lose yourself mentally, because you be so deep into it. Like, it days where I lost myself protesting, because I really believed in, like, really fighting for my people. Like, then I also use the protesting as a way of gaining networking. So I'm protesting with all these people. this my way of promoting my business. So I'm passing out business cards. They're like, who made that poster? And stuff like that. So I'm passing them my business cards and stuff like that. Um, and just started growing and growing just by getting them a simple business card. And I felt like every time they see me, oh, that's a dude that draw out there protesting. And then when we was at U of M, I wanted the president. I know he gonna feel some type of way if he see a protest. I want him to feel some type of way. Cause get what he gonna come to me and be like, hey, you know this? Kick me out of school. Guess what they gonna make? They're gonna be even bigger. He kicked dude that out of school for fighting up, standing up for something he believe in. Come on, let's do it. I loved it. I wanted to get kicked out for standing up for something I believe in.
Yeah, he like, I was standing in the fire. What's up?
It's gonna make you more famous. It's just gonna make you more famous. Then
Yeah.
your work already good, so it's just bringing more attention. It ain't like you doing nothing wrong. Just freedom of speech.
Right. Standing on your amendments. Yo, you heard.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. I think that's a beautiful explanation of like anyone that's doing something that means like that's just using their natural gifts and abilities and how you can make it mean something not only to you but to your community and how you can be in a moment where history has taken place, whether it's been very gory or very exciting, how you can tap into another level or a deeper level of your purpose. And when I hear you share this story, that's what it sounds like to me. And the way that you market, I just think is genius. Yeah. The way that you've marketed, it's inspiring me right now. Like those questions, we all have them, those doubts, we all have them that you mentioned earlier. What they gonna think about me? What they gonna say about my art? What they gonna da-da-da-da-da? We always considering other people when, let me just go ahead and go faith on this. When God has already considered you and already approved you, he gave you the ability, he gave you the skill, he gave you the talent, he wants you to use it. And you have been so masterfully creative, not just in your art, but in the way that you have marketed your purpose, the way that you have can even speak to the community about it, and the way that you're able to stand in the fire and say, whatever you do, ain't gonna do nothing but make me more famous. And I think it's beautiful.
Capitalize. I tell any artist, anybody that's trying to do anything, say for instance, we go to Facebook right now. Anything that's going viral, I tell artists, make a piece about it. Whatever going viral, make artwork about it. Because guess what? They're going to share it because this is what everybody's talking about right now. Even if they don't like it, guess what? It just bringing more and more attention to your page. Like on Twitter, I used to post so much controversial stuff. So while they talking about that one art piece, guess what? I'm retweeting all my other art. I'm retweeting everything else. No choice but to see it.
Yeah. All right. Let me ask you this. Could you tell us some of the challenges artists like you, or yourself, some of the personal challenges that you faced along your journey? I know you talked about going from LaJuan on not a black but a historically black college to a PWI, which is a predominantly white institute. And that's where we met. Could you tell us maybe you don't have to share everything about any challenges, but could you just share challenges that you a challenge that you faced along in this journey?
I think just by not to even say put art to the side, I think just being a first generation student was the hardest because everything you had to learn was on your own. Like I'm a first gen student. I'm also a first business owner of the family too. So everything I had to learn on my own and by experience. To get back to your question, I think some things I faced was trying to figure out who I was gonna be when I got older. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, art was just something that just fell back. I wanted to be a baseball player, and I wanted to do like community gardening stuff like that, landscaping. But I started to see that those two things didn't work out. What I really wanted to do, and art was just always there, and I was like just good at it. And I think some challenges I still face too is just trying to find a team. When I say team, I just want people around me that's genuine. I don't want nobody around me for the money because if you believe in my vision, of course the money gonna come. Don't want nobody that look at my pockets and be like, oh, he making this, I can make this. So you already got the wrong mindset. Because there was one point of time I wasn't making no money and I still was doing art for people for free. I think that's the biggest problem I have trying to be a business owner. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not me. Because I'm a emotional person. I'm a personal person. I want a team around me that we can connect. I don't want
Yeah.
nobody around me just I'm just here to do my job, get my money, and go home. No, we might not click because we gonna be on two different levels. I respect your craft and respect the you going to school for this certain thing, but I just want somebody around me that know me and stuff like that. I think that's the biggest problem. Trying to find a team that's strictly for dude that draw.
Ooh, that's beautiful. And I think it's a beautiful problem to have because we know that when we have problems and there are problems, we go into business to solve problems. So we know our problems can be solved too because there are more people on this earth. And the reason why we're born is to solve a problem, to become a solution. We an answered prayer to somebody's prayer, you know. So I got about 2 more questions. I know y'all want more of Do That Draw, you know what I'm saying? But look, I'm going to share how I'm going to make an assumption if that's okay. How Do That Draw came that tagline. I think I can envision that it came because people literally said, that's that Do That Draw. And I think that's crazy, but crazy good how you just use it. It's the name of your company. I think that's super dope. So y'all, this is a testament to what if people calling you, that's that girl that, or that's that, like, listen to that. I'm not saying that you got to do that draw like he did, or you got to tagline yourself as such.
Right.
Like, listen to what people are saying because people are going to tell you what they're interested in purchasing, what they're interested in getting from you. And I think when we become more aware of what people are saying, the language that they're speaking around us, negative and positive, you can take something from anything. Let me say it like that.
Right.
So I'm just gonna make that assumption and I'm gonna move on to these next questions.
You want me to respond to that?
Go ahead, confirm or deny. Go ahead.
What I said from the beginning of the interview, hey, you absolutely right. That's exactly how it started. You know, at U of M, by me transferring, people didn't know me. So, but they were like, "Hey, girl, ain't that's the dude that be drawing?" Like, yeah, I think that's the dude that be drawing. Next day, that's the dude that be drawing. I was like, hold on, because at first I was art by J Rock. I kind of didn't like that.
I remember, yeah.
I just kept hearing, that's the dude that draw. Was at a restaurant one day. Hey, yeah, that's the dude that be drawing. I said, you know what? Draw. And we're running with it ever since.
It is simple. It's not hard. You heard people say it, and you was like, yeah, let me go ahead and tap into that. And I think it's beautiful. I think it's genius. First gen genius, okay? First gen genius.
I like that. You don't make a design about that.
First gen genius, yeah. So my next question is, I have 2 more questions, and this one is about what are some ways we can practice or incorporate self-care in art?
I mean, a lot of people been telling me you should use or host art therapy classes because a lot of people can benefit from it. But I ain't gonna lie, I be kind of stuck. I be too stuck in the business mindset to even do stuff like that because it'd be like, I'm gonna be honest, case. Now it's like a businessman, all I do is think about the money. Because it's the person who I became. Like I don't never wake up and say, you know what, let me go paint something for myself. It's not those college days no more where I was trying to get my name out there. I got my name out there no more. So it's like I'm only moving when the money calls. So I have to work that part. So but I think it can be a good avenue for some people, but still, that's why I end up then teaching because it's like people like, man, you good at art, teach somebody else. They not gonna have the same grind I got. See, I got a grind because art is how I pay bills. Literally, nothing else. This is how I pay bills. So my focus gonna be, you might be want to learn how to draw, but I gotta draw. You see what I'm saying? So it's like our minds is gonna be two different places. So it's kind of hard for me to teach somebody. For me, coming from nothing to somebody that got something, they just trying to learn how to draw. We're not gonna have the same mindset, and I apologize for that. You know what I'm saying?
I think this is what I'm gonna share on that. I think that when you have that team, when you find your people, I believe that there will be an avenue at some point in the business that you'll be able to teach from a different space. Because sometimes it's not the season, it's not the time to be teaching necessarily in that way. But
Gotcha.
I will say you do go out into the community.
Oh yeah.
You do go out into the community and you do host community invites and you teach the students. So
No
I
doubt.
think if I had to share, because I'm the self-care queen, you know. If I had to share, you know, anything to that would just be like, hey, just letting them know you can express yourself. This can be something for you. That's as simple as just dropping a nugget right then and there. You know what I mean?
And I know the kids in this community. Me personally, I just feel like me being a teacher. Of course, you can make an impact for sure. But I think me traveling the world, pain, and they seeing it on Facebook, and then I come to the community, they be like, "Oh my God, bro, you went there and tell me about how they go." So it's like, okay, they seeing me in the community, and then they seeing me out of town the next day. I think that inspires them more.
Yeah.
Just imagine if they see me every day, they'll be like, "Oh, they're just here." They see me, then they don't see me, and they, he out there, Then come back and see them. It'll be a different type of motivation project. If you seeing somebody every day, you'll be like, "Oh, I ain't really doing that."
So, one of my last questions is, what are some projects that you're working on right now that you're really excited about?
Too many projects. Oh my God, I'm thankful for them though. Next week I got to go to Kentucky Amazon. They open up on the 13th. I got to do 3 murals for them. Got a back to school event in my hometown on the 6th. I'm supposed to be face painting for 6 hours. Pray for me. And I got an event on the 31st Monday. I got a face paint for my hometown again. Got a paint party at the end of August. I got a community service project with the mayor of Bahia, Mississippi. I'm supposed to be painting restrooms and their bathrooms at the softball park. That's all I got so far on my schedule. But it's like, those people hit you up and you have to plug in. It's like, but it's good. The more busy you be, the less you ain't worry about getting your feelings or nothing like that. That's good for me. The book, the busier, the better for DudeThatDraw.
Yeah. So the last thing I'll tell you is just to leave some words with anybody who's watching. Leave some words of inspiration or knowledge or wisdom that they can take with them from this conversation, even if it's something practical, whatever it may be. You have the floor.
Yeah, okay. First, I want to say shout out to my girl Kay for inviting DudeThatDraw to come, what I'm saying, express, what I'm saying, how life been and how his business been. But for all the fans, supporters of Kay and of me, I just want to say keep going. And just like me back in college, everything you want to know has already been asked, it's already out there. Google and YouTube is your best teacher. I remember taking art back at U of M, and I'm looking at my professor, and he wasn't being clear. Came back to the dorm, researched the same thing he was saying, and the same person on YouTube broke it down in the simplest form for me. And I'm like, man, I'm paying all this money just to look at somebody point at a board. So that's why I say just research. YouTube, Google, everything you want to know is out there. And I'm just gonna say experience is the best teacher. Do it. You can learn from me, you can learn from Kate, but until you actually put the work in, make them mistakes and learn from the mistakes, you're gonna be the best thing walking. And I'm gonna say this too, for anybody that's using social media to promote your business, I had to learn. Don't let likes, comments, or shares determine what type of artist you are or nothing like that. Because at the end of the day, they see it. I used to care about stuff like that. I ain't gonna lie, like, man, I know that. But then again, man, that one follower gonna grow to 10. That 10 follower gonna go to 100. That 100 gonna go to 1,000, 10,000, so forth. And it did. My man, I always want to say I want to shout out to my roommate, man. Rest his soul, man. He always just tell me, bro, post. I don't care if you get no likes. You put in work. I was like, well, how if I ain't get no likes, how would they know? And I just listen to that. I just post. See, if you post every day, they let them folks know, like, oh yeah, he got motion. He had motion for sure.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, just do that research. Stay true to who you are, and man, just promote. Everybody can't say no. That's how we said at the beginning of the interview. Everybody can't say no. Everybody can't. But if their product good, I'm gonna lastly leave this cake with you. At U of M, I think the reason why my business grew, I didn't go up to people like, hey, I do art. I have a regular conversation with them. And they be like, man, this my intellectual. He got his head on his shoulders, right? Ain't you in college? Then when I pull them coloring books out the bag, from their portfolio, you already sold them. You're in college, got your head on right, and you talented. They can't say no now. Because guess what? You already sold them by having a good conversation. It's simple as that, Kay. Hey, U of M Tigers in the building alone.
Jeremy. Damn. Yeah. Y'all, bruh. I am inspired. I thank you for just making it simple. We overcomplicate it. We make it about the lights. We make it about the doubts. We make it about who gonna know us. We make it about the big vision, but it's about the steps right here that you can take right now. Be consistent right now. Show up right now. Share it right now. You know what I'm saying? Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Get genuinely, like what you just said was, get genuinely interested in people.
Yeah.
Get genuinely interested in yourself. And when you pull it out, they be let me share this real quick. Like yesterday, I went to Memphis, and I was invited to speak at a girls' boot camp right before school starts for them. And I had just been exercising my ass muscle, not my my ASK muscle.
Yeah, right.
Okay? And I had asked them, I said, hey, since I'm traveling, you guys can provide gas, or, can you guys buy like a bulk of books, maybe 10 or 20 books? And they were first like, unfortunately, we don't have the funds. And I was like, I'm showing up anyway, but I'm going to ask anyway. So I gave a presentation. Man, them folks bought all the books that I had left. I don't have no more. I brought no more books home with me. They're gone. You know what I'm saying? And it was just a testament, because you got to ask. You got to show up. You got to ask, but you got to show up. And you got to deliver. Okay. Ask, show up, and deliver. So when you had them conversation with people, you already showing up. You asking them questions. You getting to know them. And then when you pull it out, you're delivering on what you just, everything that you just brought to them, every part of your energy that you just shared with them. So thank you for making it simple for me. Thank you for reiterating the fact that the lights don't matter.
And to speak on what you just said, that's exactly what I do when I go paint for Amazon. Okay, your boy put on the show. So I'm actually sketching the wall, and I'm talking to people. So it's like I'm telling them my story while I'm getting them the vision on the wall. So they're like, man, this man talking to us while I'm still focused on the crowd. So they get them like, he's something serious, dog. That was something serious for sure. Hey, I don't brag. I just trust my instincts and just go do what I gotta do.
Yeah. May you be blessed. Be blessed, be blessed. And I want to share this before I go too, because I think it's important. And it comes from Luke 1:37. Whatever verse or version of the Bible that you use, go look it up. But it says, in the version that I use, which is the CJB, it says, with God, nothing is impossible. With God, nothing is impossible. With God, nothing is impossible. Let me say it one more time. I don't think they really hear it. I got to let this really sizzle their spirit, their soul. You feel me? This is a vibe. With God, nothing is impossible. So keep God with you. I'm going to keep God with me. Y'all, everybody listening under the sound of our voice, keep God with you, because nothing is impossible. We just made it very simple for you. And again, we thank you for being on Vision and Vibes podcast. Thank you for sharing vision. Thank you for sharing your vibes. And we probably have you back. We'll probably have you back some other time.
Do it tomorrow.
All right, y'all. Look, make sure you tune in with us, tap in with us. Don't never turn your vibes off. And always believe in yourself. Always, always, always believe in yourself. Vibe out. Peace, y'all.
You've just tuned into Vision and Vibes, a weekly podcast brought to you by Inspired Bosses. For more books, speaking engagements, or workshops, visit inspirebosses.com.